mining equipment. It's like those guys that you watch on, Discovery Channel, where they're mining for gold up in Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
The guys that make the money, they've got these massive machines moving all of this stuff, and they're making lots of money. Well, there's specialized equipment as well for mining for Bitcoin.
Good morning, Craig Peterson here. Of course, I was on with Mr. Jim Polito this morning. I had to talk about the Suez Canal, this blockage, so we did. We got into that. And also a little bit about Tesla and Bitcoin. What is Elon Musk doing? What's he thinking? I had a couple of ideas, and we talked about it with Jim. Here we go.
You can buy now a Tesla with Bitcoin. There are organizations that will accept Bitcoin. Here's what's different here. Most of those organizations take the Bitcoin, convert it to regular currency, and then that's it. Well, Elon Musk must be betting on Bitcoin. I don't know. I need a guy much smarter than me here, which doesn't take a lot of work. That is in no way to take anything away from our next guest, who is our good friend and tech talk guru, Craig Peterson. Good morning, Craig.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Jim. Yeah, what a different world.
Yeah, you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, which is that crazy currency that we talk about frequently here. When he takes the Bitcoin in, unlike other businesses, he's not then converting it. Like when you go to Europe, when you're converting your money into euros, he's not converting it. He's keeping the Bitcoin. Does that mean he thinks Bitcoin is viable?
Yeah, boy, does he ever. He's been talking about it and promoting it for a while. He bought $1.5 billion in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Which, of course, that sends the price up. It isn't just ransomware now being used for Bitcoin, but everything's going crazy. Look at this musician Grimes. I don't know if you heard about this, but he sold a collection of digital artwork for $6.3 million.
The digital artwork, that just makes me laugh. Somebody makes a piece of digital artwork, which, unlike the Mona Lisa, you can't go there and just pick it up and say, I'm going to bring it home, or I'm going to take a copy of it. You can't do that. Digital artwork, as far as I'm concerned, is worthless.
It's a perfect copy, right? It's not like the Mona Lisa with a forgery.
It's actually, right. You're right. If you copy a piece of digital artwork, it's exactly the same.
It absolutely is. They filed at Tesla here this regulatory filing with the Security and Exchange Commission about a month ago now, saying that they would begin accepting Bitcoin as payment for Tesla cars. Now, I'm not sure who they're going after or what they're going to use the Bitcoin for. Maybe he sees Bitcoin going up even further. We've certainly seen some major runs in it. You referred to it as a currency. I think that's an interesting word because what is a currency? We have our money that we have right now that has the full faith and credit of a government, which is laughable in and of itself. But anyways, everybody takes it, right? From the pizza shop that first took 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas, the first Bitcoin transaction ever. So figure out how much they were worth then, far less than a penny.
Yeah.
Now Tesla is saying, yeah, you can bring in 1 Bitcoin and I'll give you a full car.
God. I don't know. I'm just not getting. You know what? As they say, I think the chance to get in on the ground floor was a long time ago. I'm just not getting in on the ground floor. I'll stick with other stuff.
My son and I started doing mining years ago, Bitcoin mining. It was just so expensive to do because we didn't have specialized mining equipment. It's like those guys that you watch on, Discovery Channel, where they're mining for gold up in Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
The guys that make the money, they've got these massive machines moving all of this stuff, and they're making lots of money. Well, there's specialized equipment as well for mining for Bitcoin. And with the cost of electricity here in the Northeast, it's just not worth doing. If you go to eBay right now, you could do a search for Bitcoin mining equipment, and you would find all kinds of used stuff for sale because the next generation's out, and the only way they can stay effective is to get the next generation. So right now, It is cheaper to mine a Bitcoin than to pay for the electricity. It's about $25,000 to $30,000 for one Bitcoin. If you're trying to mine it, it's going to vary. It's a little bit of a luck of the draw, too, by the way. The Bitcoins are in the $50,000 range. Okay, that makes some sense to do some mining. But again, you've still got to have this specialized equipment that's going to cost you a lot of money and get busy. He's obviously betting on it going up.
Yeah.
He may be just saying, I'll convert it to hard currency when it hits $100,000 a Bitcoin. He really hasn't said.
There really are people who believe that it will, too.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Bowling, who used to be on Fox, he's a former investment person, then worked at the business channels, then he got to Fox, then he had a sexual harassment allegation against him. He's out. He does work for Newsmax now, a few others. I listened to a podcast with him talking about it, and he's betting on it. He's not a stupid guy. He's betting on it.
I wish I had money to bet on it. I just don't, right? I'm trying to build a business, raise a family, support a wife, kids, chickens. By the way, the fox got 2 foxes came by this morning, got 4 of my chickens.
Really?
But
we got to talk about that after. But keep that thought in mind, because I got to tell you a good story. Go ahead.
It's that time of year. We'll see what happens. Bitcoin, I just don't know. I've never had the trust in it. It takes trust to buy Bitcoin. The major driving force behind Bitcoin has been corporations buying Bitcoin so that they can pay for a ransom when they get ransomware. They're buying Bitcoin in advance. That's part of their plan for disaster when they get hit with ransomware. And the other thing that's really driven up Bitcoin over the years is people buying it to pay ransoms themselves.
Yeah.
And that's a real big deal. That's something we're covering on the Improving Windows Security course this week, too. You got to keep yourself safe. How do you mitigate it? There just aren't that many places that accept it. Maybe Elon's saying, well, we've got all of these total geeks that mine the Bitcoin. Now they'll trade it over. The fact that he bought $1.5 billion drove the value of Bitcoin up. Yep. Is he playing the market? Is he gaming it by buying it, driving it up, accepting it, which will drive it up, right? The value just keeps going up. Who knows? Maybe that's even illegal.
Well, he's been in trouble before with the SEC. Remember some of the statements he made? He should stop smoking pot live on a podcast. He should maybe start with that. You have to give him some credit, though, for what he's done with SpaceX and other things. The very fact that he bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, right after that purchase is closed, the price goes up because people say, did you see that? Elon Musk bought Bitcoin. Maybe he's part of the whole thing, and like old man Joe Kennedy used to do, he knew when to get in the market and when to get out. Maybe Elon Musk got a little bit of that. I just think it's fascinating.
Hey, I got to bring up the Suez Canal thing here, too, Jim.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I've got 2 kids in the maritime industry, and you know that.
Yeah.
Or 3, actually, that have been. One of whom is a master mariner. She has unlimited oceans, unlimited tonnage. She command vessels for the U.S. Navy, merchant vessels. And she's been through that very Suez Canal before. She's told me some stories about it. I'm not sure that the pilots, now remember, pilots when it comes to ships are the specialized people
the local,
that know the harbor.
Usually local. Yep, they come out to the ship, bring them out, they climb up the side, get in. They know the local waterways. They take over for the captain.
Yeah, those are the guys. You know what nepotism is, right?
Oh, yes, I do. We have quite a bit of that. In Rhode Island and Massachusetts, we have a little bit of that going on.
You've heard about that. I'm not sure these ships pilots over there, by the descriptions I have heard from family members and others, I'm not sure those ship pilots are actually even qualified to get a Massachusetts boater's license.
Are you kidding?
No, they are the least competent people I have ever heard of. Nepotism runs rampant. If you actually want to get through the canal, you have to make sure when you go over there that your ship, you might be hauling oil, you might be hauling, it doesn't matter what, but you better be hauling Marlboro Reds and M&Ms because that's what powers the Suez Canal.
You know what? That's great. One of the busiest waterways in the world. What is it? How much of the trade of the world? 11% of the world's trade goes through. And you're telling me that if you don't have the Marlboro Reds, forget about the Marlboro Lights, but if you don't have the Marlboro Reds and some M&Ms, it's all over.
Forget about it. You're going to end up blocking that canal.
Oh, man. That's very, very interesting. There's a cool little app out there right now that allows you to put the ship anywhere that you want. Like, you can drop it on a map anywhere. You can drop it on your street with the map.
It's made by the Boston Public Library curator. It's called Wedge the Suez.
Yes. I've seen quite a few online of people taking it and putting it in interesting places. Hey, you mentioned it, and then maybe we should just now close with, is that program that you're putting on. We always ask you at the end, how can folks get more information from Craig Peterson?
Absolutely. Now's the time to do this. This is an improving Windows security course. You probably also got an email. If you're active on an email list, I don't want to bother people that aren't that interested. First of all, big problem right now with iOS, Apple's operating system for its mobile devices. You should have already received and installed a patch from Apple.
I did.
Even old Apple phones.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I did do it as soon as it came through. Yep. I saw your stuff.
Good. Unlike Android. That's why I don't like Android. Apple gets it out even for old phones. Number two, this Improving Windows Security course is starting this week. I hope to get the email out this afternoon with all of the details. This is going to help you tighten up your Windows computer.
Good.
If you're not on that email list, get on it now. CraigPeterson.com/subscribe, because I send out tips and tricks and trainings. We do free webinars, just all kinds of stuff that you only know if you go to CraigPeterson.com/subscribe.
Craig, that is great. Good to hear from you. Thank you, as usual, for making the very complex simple, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Hey, take care, Jim. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Craig Peterson.